This Israeli-Palestinian conflict has really led to a lot of people just shedding their principles in the sake of trying to be socially acceptable. Elijah Schaffer, I'm really pretty based when it comes to this stuff, but I don't know. Maybe I'm off. Maybe I'm the asshole in this situation because I kind of see this as a little bit different. Okay, take a look at this. There's a Jewish student at the University of Washington breaks down after student organizations host pro-Hamas rally on campus. Is it pro-Hamas or is it pro-Palestinian? Or at the end of the day, is it still free speech? Are they actually out there doing anything violent? No. Does it have the propensity to be violent? Well, yeah, there's a lot of, leftist insurgents that are in there, or hell, maybe it's even just a little bit of violence bubbling under the surface and all they need is just an inciting action. Hell, we all lived through 2020 and can live to tell the tales. We kind of see how that stuff starts. But until it starts, we're not out here minority reporting anybody. We're not doing thought crimes or anything like that. You can go ahead and try to curtail it as much as possible, but until it goes hot, you don't want to end up in a Trudeau type situations where I don't really like those truckers anymore. We'll just bring in the military. No. There's a free speech, First Amendment for a goddamn reason. So for everybody going, I really hope this is used to wake people up. Not all cultures are equal, and that's why we warned against importing third worlds into our Western nations. I don't disagree with the notion. I just don't like how it's being applied to this because it's used as justification in order to just shut down protests. We've seen that happen in the UK as well. There was a piece of legislation that was passed in the wake of the, their version or their BLM riots that went on at the time. Yeah, we're just, we're going to write this in, okay, in case that there's some protests that we don't like that end up going off. It's like, that's not a very good thing. And it's like, no, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. And then there were some anti-mask, anti-vaccine passport protests that went on. And then what happened? That same piece of legislation was used against them. You have to understand the power that you're trying to hand over to people by just capitulating to crying women, because that's always the face that gets put out here, and that's what we're seeing again. And that's when I see something like this, I gotta say something. I think that's the old policy, right? Nobody should feel unsafe like this. The government is not responsible for your feelings. You're responsible for your feelings. If you don't like that, just leave. It's fine, man. You're in a leftist space, okay? You're on a university campus. Didn't you think, this whole pro-Palestinian stuff, that's normally the vocation of the left. Normally they just got buck wild justifications in order to back that stuff up. It's like, black people were slaves, and they stole, the white man stole the land from the natives. It's just like what's happening over in It's completely fucking different situation, okay? But no. All of these people only see surface level. Therefore, they just justify their hatred of certain groups in order to just go, yeah, no, we're both in the same boat. Yeah, fuck it. Okay, we'll just go ahead and burn things down together. It's like, no, it's different. It's very different. It's kind of like the same thing that goes on with some of these conservative pundits. Like I said, I like Elijah Schaffer. I think he's a fairly smart, fairly level-headed guy. It's just I disagree with his take. But that's the one thing. That's the one good thing about this. I'm not emotionally invested in this shit. All I see is just, this could definitely go in a bad direction. We can have disagreeing points. He'll never see this, but it really doesn't much matter, man. I'm a man of principle. He's a man of principle. We disagree on an opinion. Because here we're seeing right here just the escalation of this and how this can be used for justification to shut down any type of free speech that the establishment doesn't like. Think forward. Think a couple of steps ahead for once. God damn it. Israeli billionaire Idan Ofer quits Harvard board. Blast university president over Hamas student letters. And also, speaking of said conservative pundits, not the good ones, okay, the Daily Wire crew, by saying, well, see, you have all of these Jewish billionaires that are pulling out of these places. Shouldn't you be able to just see that the support is not on your side, pro-Hamas, pro-terrorist side? It's like, shouldn't you also be able to see why there's so many Israeli billionaires pulling out of different places that just don't capitulate to their one-sided telling of this war? Isn't that kind of, oh no, right, that's anti-Semitic. I'm sorry I even brought it up. Israeli billionaire Idan Ofer and his wife are resigning from their post at the executive board at Harvard's Kennedy School in protest of the School president Claudine Gaze. Oh my God, see, now you're just being bigoted, okay? Now you're being homophobic because her last name's Gay. Get it? It's funny. Belated lukewarm response to the student letter blaming Israel for the massacre committed by Hamas terrorists on Saturday. Oh, did they know about the storming of the mosque? Oh, that's interesting. Didn't think anybody else did. Ofer, the shipping and chemicals magnate, magnate, sorry, pronunciation, whose net worth is valued by Forbes as $14 billion. Wow. I'm surprised. As of Thursday, he said that he and his wife were quitting the board, according to the Hebrew language news site The Marker. Ofer and his wife, Batia, who is also a member of the executive board, said that they resigned in protest. A shocking and sensitive response by the president of the university for not condemning a letter. Gay has come under fire from Harvard alums, including former school president Larry Summers, ring the bell, who decried the delayed statement from her office in response to the student letters. This is classic leftist tactics, because when I seen this video go around there as well, my immediate response to this is, okay, you guys might remember, oh God, this is going on a decade ago. This was not at the University of Washington. This was at Yale over Halloween costumes. There were a bunch of emotional girls out there. You're supposed to keep us safe. This university is a home. You're not doing your job. It's fucking Halloween costumes. That's a protest. Okay, fucking keep your feelings in your back pockets. Shout out Donovan Sharp for this one. I forget which law of Sharp this is, but a woman's tears are only real when she's alone. All I see is a lot of histrionics in order to try to get her way on this one. How are you allowing us? They want us dead. And if they wanted you dead, they'd go and do it. They kind of got a track record of that. And then, decrying, this delayed statement, we can't be a part of this anymore. Or it's just fashionable to just go ahead and be super pro-Israeli at this point in time. And I mean, we're like halfway through this article, okay? Just about 3/4 of the way through this article, and we haven't even got a single line from said statement. I just know a spin job when I see it. Why can't we give reassurance that the university stands squarely behind Hamas terror to frighten students when 35 groups of their fellow students appear to be blaming all the violence on Israel? Summers wrote in a social media post late on Monday. Summers' disappointment was a response to the lukewarm statement released by the president's office on Monday. Yeah, I know. I probably disagree with her on just about everything. But look, man, here's the deal. I can also see forward into the future. Like, Harvard, University of Washington, any university campus, they've been co-opted by leftists. Go ahead and deal with it right at the root cause, okay? Dig that infection out right at the base of it instead of just trying to put a band-aid on the gunshot wound. We write to you today heartbroken by the death and destruction unleashed by the attack by Hamas that targeted citizens in Israel this weekend and by the war in Israel and Gaza now underway. Harvard administrators wrote in a statement on Monday where it's like, it's Monday. Did you expect us to leap into action over the weekend? Like, get your fucking bearings about you, okay? We still thought that, what's her name? Shandi Luke was not in hospital. Statement did not explicitly condemn Hamas. See, they didn't condemn hard enough. This is clearly out of the playbook of the alphabet mafia. See, you didn't condemn white supremacy hard enough, okay? You didn't do what we wanted you to do hard enough. These are the exact same tactics that you would decry if the subject material was simply flipped. This is the same thought experiment that every fucking limp-wristed conservative tradcon cuck would just say, oh wow, look at this blatant racism. If you would just simply flip the races and you said that about white people, nobody would turn a blind eye. But if you did that about black people, everybody would be up in arms. Or the neocon side of this stuff. Look at the double standard. If the Democrats were doing this, they could get away with murder. And if the Republicans would do it, it would be on front page. Don't you see the exact same shit playing out right here? Bro, don't you see where this eventually fucking goes? Lawmakers urge Biden administration to take action against pro-Hamas demonstrations spreading across college campuses. This is so fucking blatant. One of the most pro-censorship, if not the most pro-censorship, at least in our lifetime, presidents, you're pushing him to crack down on free speech. What the fuck happened to your guys' principles? This is ridiculous. We've seen it on a small scale when it came to Mia Khalifa, and still can't believe that I defended that thought. But still, she has a right to say what she wants to say without risking her fucking career. We used to decry that on the other side of this stuff. Anthony Cumia, Gina Carano, people that were simply speaking their mind, not doing anything illegal online, fucking losing their livelihoods because of it. And then you just cheer it on because you used to take loads to the face. It's like, yeah, you can make some jokes. But then at the same time, what happened to you guys? You sold out just like her without, taking, 10 inches of black dick in the ass. For what? For what? To simp so hard for our greatest ally like they actually give a fuck about you? Dozens of lawmakers are calling on President Biden's Department of Education to act after student groups across the country published messages of supporting Hamas terrorists this week. Again, we're second article into the stuff, haven't seen anything. Again, supporting Hamas terrorists or voicing pro-Palestinian sentiments. That's still free speech. You might not like it. I might not like it, but you can fucking say it. Free speech is all about speech that you don't even necessarily like. Fuck, man. Representative Tim Walberg of Michigan authored a letter signed it along with 43 other lawmakers on Thursday. The letter calls for the Secretary of Education, Miguel Cardona, who's an asshole, to take action to protect Jewish students. God, it all starts there, man. Don't give them this fucking power, you idiot. On college campuses across the United States, with anti-Semitic incidences spiking amid war between Israel and Hamas. Yo, take a look at this. It's just so terrible, man. Okay. Rest in glory. Glory to our martyrs. Yeah, there's been, at least at time of recording, 1,400 Palestinians dead. Killed in attacks. That's what they mean by martyrs, okay? Yeah, rest in glory. There's a lot of dead people. There's a lot of dead Israelis as well. But bro, got all the classic hallmarks and you're just over there trying to bend over, see which lawmaker can go ahead and grab their ankles the hardest. Many student groups have issued statements condoning or even celebrating the terror attack, which should be considered a modern day pogrom. Oh, see, we can just go ahead and hearken back to the Holocaust in order to bolster our claims. Fucking idiots. Some student groups have even utilized imagery of a paraglider to advertise their rallies. Some students? No, that was BLM Chicago. I already covered that. Unequivocally celebrating the despicable tactics used by Hamas, a terrorist organization that President Biden stated is a group whose stated purpose for being is to kill Jews. The letter reads. Wahlberg called out universities for portraying themselves as inclusive and tolerant and speaking out regarding social issues while remaining silent on the current crisis. Yeah, they came out, but you didn't like how they said it, how quickly they said it. You didn't go, and they didn't show up. It's not the same thing, man. And yeah, there you got the little banner at the bottom. See if you can go ahead and see that in totality. Yeah, you can. Yeah, so appropriate that pops up right now because I was going to segue into my next point. Yeah, you're also not talking about the amount of people. Not that I would expect them to. You're supposed to be a place of higher learning, which I know that they won't take from this situation. But yeah, you don't have to get into, the realm of politics when it comes to this. You can simply be the institution where these discussions can happen. It used to be the stated purpose of these higher learning facilities, but no, they decided to go whole hog in on politics, and if you don't like it, you just don't show up to those places, okay? I don't know how you fuckers can't get this through your head. But yeah, some student groups have even utilized imagery of paragliders to advertise their rallies and celebrating the despicable tactics of Hamas. Then again, you can be the likes of Ben Shapiro just openly saying you need to glass Gaza. That's totally fine because those are the brown people that we don't care about. They aren't our greatest allies. But the other side, they are totally squeaky clean when it comes to this. Just don't take a look at any of the dead kids, any of the ruined families, any of the blown up buildings on the Gaza Strip side of that thing. You can go ahead and have a clean conscience about that. I don't like where this is going, man. Okay, if you don't like those protests, that's fine, man. Don't go attend them. Don't counter-protest them because, yeah, there's a lot of leftists that are in there. There's a lot of saber-rattling leftists that just want to incite some shit, and they are just looking for targets. Stay the fuck away from them. Absolutely stay the fuck away from them. But until they step it up again, man, there's nothing you can really do about it. You can condemn it as loudly as you want, for as much as they're allowed to loudly condemn anything that they want. That's the beauty of free speech, man. You might not like it, but you gotta be down for that type of speech. Otherwise, you're in no better situation than the rest of the world, while the rest of the world is looking at the United States as the last beacon of freedom. And now you're just trying to give it away, you unbelievable simps. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.